Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and today I'm here to talk about 5 things that I want to see with a Nintendo Switch Pro. Let's get right on into it. So guys, recently there's been a lot of talk about, Nintendo Switch Mini, Nintendo Switch Pro. Oh no, it's going to be a Nintendo Switch Mini. No, it's going to be a Nintendo Switch Pro. And now the Wall Street Journal's like, fuck that. It's going to be both. And I'm just like, can't even right now. There's just too many rumors. And I'm just like, okay, I gave my 5 things that I wanted to see in a Nintendo Switch Mini. You can see that video up there in the eye if you haven't seen it already. And I thought, well, I haven't given my 5 things I want to see in the Switch Pro yet. So let's do that right now. First things first, higher resolutions and frame rates for games, especially games like Wolfenstein 2 and Doom. Of course, the purpose of a Switch Pro is, as most people would say, it's to have better graphics. And what kind of graphics am I expecting? I have a lot of different videos of that which you can go check out. I have too many to put in eyes because they'd just be like, I have a bunch. I actually have a playlist full of tech videos you can go see in the eye. But I'm hoping for something that is at least close to hitting Xbox One power. I'm not really expecting anything that's going to be like PS4, but if it even gets like close to the Xbox One, I think that would be pretty big upgrade. I'm hoping that we could get 1440p or maybe even upscaled 4K games for games that already run at 1080p 60 FPS. I'm not talking Doom, I'm talking like Smash. It already runs with extra headroom at 1080p 60 FPS. Probably could get up to 1440p with a better system. Not that hard. And for games that are, say 720p to get up to 900p or 1080p, maybe like Doom could start running at a dynamic 900p instead of a dynamic 720p at a smooth 30 FPS or higher. But I would hope that the CPU would be strong enough to where we could get some games like Doom at 60 FPS. Maybe have a performance mode where it runs at similar resolutions to the current Switch, or maybe a little bit higher, maybe rock solid 720p 60 FPS, or 30 FPS at like a dynamic 1080p or something like that. Though it isn't out of the cards if Nintendo wanted to put out a system that is in between, Xbox One and PS4 in terms of power. They already have mobile chipsets are just moving so fast. They already have chipsets that are just way outclassed the Tegra X1 that's in the Switch. I mean, that is a 4-year-old chip, and with how technology is today, I mean, you can get outclassed in a matter of a year at this point. Even the X2, which actually did outclass it in just 1 year, the X1 came out in 2015, the Tegra X2 came out in 2016, and it's twice as energy efficient and much more powerful. And that was back in 2016. So it's not out of the cards for Nintendo to pull something that's in between Xbox One and PS4 power, but they may wait for a full Switch 2 to go to that levels of power. Secondly, I want a better HDMI and possibly a better USB-C port as well. Now you guys be like, wait, that's a weird thing to want, a HDMI port and USB-C port that's better. Why do you want that? Well, while the HDMI port that is on the Switch right now works great at 1080p with a standard color range, it does not support 4K 60 FPS or HDR video. The Tegra X1, however, actually does support 4K output. However, you might notice if you go to places like Hulu or YouTube that, support 4K, you can't display in 4K on your Nintendo Switch. It just doesn't work. And that is because the HDMI just isn't fast enough for this. Given the fact that the HDMI is so limited, I would not be surprised if the USB-C is limited as well. Some people think USB-C and they're like, oh, automatically it has to be, USB-C is pretty new. It has to be at least like a 3.0 or 3.1, right? It should be capable of 4K 60. But that's not necessarily the case. There is USB-Cs out there that use a 2.0 version. It's just in the shape of USB-C, but it's essentially a USB 2.0, and that does not support 4K 60. What I'm thinking it's a 3.0, and it supports 4K at 24 frames per second, like the HDMI 1.4B that is in the Nintendo Switch. but it's just not good enough to reach 4K 60. But perhaps that's not the case. Perhaps they make a Switch Pro dock that supports your older Switch if you don't want to upgrade to a Switch Pro, or maybe it adds stuff onto the Switch Pro as well, and it just works. It may be that way, but I'm not sure, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a USB 3.0 version. Number 3, I want an Ethernet port built into the dock. The Switch's Wi-Fi speeds are just... they're trash, guys. They're complete and utter garbage. They're so slow. Because it doesn't plug directly in the Switch, because it uses USB 3.0 as a buffer, because you have to plug, you know, this bad boy in USB 3.0 and then plug your Ethernet into that, this slows it down. If it was a USB 3.1, it'd be much faster, but the fact that it's only USB 3.0 makes it slow. Couple that with the fact that it has to go into the dock and then into the Switch through the USB-C, which we're not sure if that's a 3.0, a 2.0, or a 3.1. That could be a bottleneck as well. There's potential 2 huge bottlenecks that make the Switch's Ethernet speeds terrible as well. I have a nearly 500 megabits per second connection to my house, and that's what I get on my PC. It's plugged straight into Ethernet, but on my Switch, I barely get 50. So for sure, a USB port, a dedicated USB port, coupled with a possible better USB-C on the Switch itself would make internet speeds just so much faster. It would also be nice if the Wi-Fi adapter in the Switch itself was better as well, just because, you know, not everyone has Ethernet connection readily available. Number 4, better Bluetooth. The Switch's Bluetooth is really weird. It is a Bluetooth that supports normal Bluetooth headsets, and yet if you try to use them, they don't work. You can only use the ones where you have to plug the thing into the headphone jack and then have that receive, because some reason the Bluetooth inside the Switch just isn't up to snuff. Couple that with the fact that the controllers themselves don't have a very good range, and if you happen to put it under a table or behind your leg, or any of you can't see where I'm putting this, but I'm trying to show you, it just doesn't work. It just stops working, and I'm pretty sure that is due to the fact that the Bluetooth receiver, probably like the Wi-Fi receiver, just isn't really good. It's just not a good receiver. It just doesn't really work that well, and that's why you have issues with controllers and you can't connect Bluetooth headsets. So having a better Bluetooth receiver in there would be a nice upgrade. And finally, I want RTX capabilities in the next Switch. This one's a little bit of a pipe dream, and I have made an entire video on this, which you can click up in the eye, so I won't dwell on it too much. Now, guys, calm down. I see all you guys pausing the video, going to the comments, but like, I ain't gonna put ray tracing in the next Switch, it's just too much power. I mean, no, stop. I'm not talking about ray tracing. I'm talking about the rest of the RTX feature set. Since ray tracing is so demanding, NVIDIA has put a huge emphasis on making RTX the fastest it can be, and there's many features that help it be this way. DLSS and variable rate shading would be great to have on the Switch, and as I said, I talk about it all in the video, so go check that out. But yeah, guys, that's all for this video. Make sure to let me know what you guys want to see in a Nintendo Switch Pro down in the comments below. And if you think a Nintendo Switch Pro is even going to come, do you believe the Wall Street Journal that there's going to be both? Do you think there will be just a mini, just a Pro? What do you think? Well, let me know down in the comments below. Also, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell icon for notifications of all my uploads. Also, please share this with all your friends. Share Discord, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere on the internet, because it really does help out a lot, and I really appreciate all you guys doing this kind of stuff. So I'll see all you awesome people later on What About Nintendo. Bye!